Welcome to the channel, and in this video I wanted to show my collection of the Michael Keaton / Tim Burton Batman movies. I loved these movies when I was a kid, and these films along with the Batman the Animated Series were my entry point into the Batman comics, and I own a few different iterations, so let's get into the video. First up is a Blu-ray Steelbook that was an exclusive to FYE in 2019. It was released to celebrate 80 years of Batman, who made his debut in Detective Comics number 27 back in 1939. It was also released on the 30th anniversary of this film. I was born a few years after this movie, so I didn't get to witness Batmania, but this is a landmark film for so many reasons. One being it redefined the character for the non-comic book readers. People only thought of Batman at that time as the campy character from the Adam West show from the 60s. It also gave comic book movies a shot in the arm after the Christopher Reeve Superman movies had petered out. This Blu-ray comes with 2 hours worth of bonus features. They're all the features that I think were done for the Batman Anthology DVD set. It was cool to see how many comic book writers and artists that were interviewed for this, like Alex Ross, Frank Miller, Brian Boland, Denny O'Neil, Jeff Loeb, Mike Mignola, Jeff Johns, and even Stan Lee. The retrospective 3-part on the making of the film is also pretty good. Warner Brothers doesn't really go above and beyond with their special features like this anymore, but they still do a good job with maybe an hour's worth of special features when it comes to their DC films, and that is miles compared to what Disney does for their Marvel films. Someday I'll upgrade this to 4K, and they did port over all these bonus features, but they didn't add anything new, unfortunately.
Love that Joker.
I also have the first Michael Keaton Batman movie on UMD. Warner Brothers only released this movie and Batman Begins here in the States, but they did release all the films, including The Dark Knight overseas. All those releases are crazy expensive, but I was able to get The Dark Knight before those prices rose to the extremes that they're at now. Warner Brothers didn't really support the format here in the States, and even none of the Superman movies got a UMD release. Not even Superman Returns, which was a new movie at the time. Comic book movies were perfect for this format. I mean, Sony and Fox put out most of their Marvel movies for the PSP. Fox even put out the 1966 Batman movie with Adam West. The last time I watched this movie was on my PSP, and I still enjoy watching it despite the qualms I have because I'm a comic book nerd. I do prefer Nolan's take and even Matt Reeves' version, but those can't take away my nostalgic love for this movie.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
I also own the movie on VHS. My buddy Jared gifted me this, and I'm old enough to have first watched this movie on VHS. I remember renting this and the sequel from my local library back in the day. So yeah, this movie is very nostalgic. And I still have my Batman figure that had the grappling hook utility belt. The only problem I had with this movie when I was a kid was that there was no Robin. There were plans to introduce the character in both this movie and the sequel, but they were both scrapped. I still loved Keaton as Batman, and I was happy to see Keaton return in the Flash movie. Regardless of what you may think of that movie, I think we can all agree that Keaton was great. He was going to reprise the role again in the Batgirl movie, but that movie is currently locked away in some Warner Brothers vault and might not ever see the light of day.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you?
I also have this NECA figure that's done in the style of the old NES video game. I got this using my points from being a GameStop Rewards member. I don't remember playing this game, and I have very little memories of actually playing any games on the original NES. I have far more memories of the Super Nintendo. I am familiar with some of the music from this game. There's a band called The Advantage that does covers of music from old video games, and they did a great job of the cover of Stage 1 from this game. Next, I have a Blu-ray Steelbook of Batman Returns, and I bought this at Walmart over 10 years ago. Like its predecessor, it ports over hours worth of bonus features. I have a weird relationship with this movie, and I can appreciate that the studio let Tim Burton go full Tim Burton. It has its tropes of the freaks and outcasts that have been marginalized by society, and the tone can be dark, but yet it's still a bit whimsical at times. The problem I have with this movie is Burton's very literal adaptation of these characters. I mean, Penguin is a penguin man, and he has these little flipper hands, and he hangs out in a lair surrounded by penguins. Catwoman is a literal Catwoman who has 9 lives and licks herself in some scenes. Subtlety was lost in translation when it came to those characters, but I can still enjoy this movie, and I just have to remind myself that this is Burton's interpretation, and while I would prefer something more in line with the comics, I can quickly get over it and just enjoy the movie for what it is. One thing that I do really like is the redesign of the bat suit. I wasn't really a fan of the sculpted abs on the previous suit. And I like that they made it look more like armor plating this time around, and this is still probably my favorite live action version of the Batsuit.
You missed.
I also have the Super Nintendo game of Batman Returns. I didn't have this when I was a kid and don't remember even seeing it at my local rental store. Then 10 years ago I watched a video and I think it was maybe Cinemassacre and they were playing it and I thought it looked super fun. And really not long after that I saw it at a local retro video game store and I bought it. I still have my original Super Nintendo from when I was a kid and it was really cool to experience this game 20 years after it was released. A few years ago DC released a sequel comic to the two Burton films. It was written by Sam Hamm, who worked on those movies, and it's a nice continuation of the Burtonverse. The first series deals with Billy D. Williams' Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face, and it also debuts a new original version of Robin. It's a fun read and worth checking out. They did a sequel last year, but as of this recording, the final issue still hasn't come out. This time around, they brought in Scarecrow as the new villain and debuted Batgirl into this universe. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know what your thoughts are on these movies or if you have any fond memories of them in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a movie time.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get